Intelligence is generally seen as a good thing, but the smarter you are, the more complicated your life becomes. Those who are above average in their cognitive abilities know that, as great as their intellectual abilities are, they also come with some pretty significant downsides that can make their lives tough to navigate and cope with on a daily basis. Hello everyone, welcome to a place to get better. In this video, we have prepared 10 reasons why smart people have trouble finding love. Number 1. They overthink. Smart people think. It's kind of in the definition. Thinking can be useful and leads to all sorts of progress and discoveries in society. But lone geniuses don't tend to do well in love. When Van Gogh cut off his hair, he didn't do it because he was feeling great about his love life. Let's put it that way. Smart people think too much. They worry about the future and feel sad about the past. They wonder if somebody feels the same as them so much that they ended up getting stuck all in their own head. Been there, done that. It's really stressful. Number 2. They're picky. Smart people get horny too. They care about physical attraction, let's not lie. We all do to some extent. But it's not enough for them, and neither is a surface level personal connection. They sometimes try to lie to themselves and say, okay, connection is fine, but it never is. The problem is after the physical attraction wears away, the brainy individual often wakes up and looks around with a feeling of growing horror. Despite being attracted, they often find themselves dating people they do not actually feel enough of a connection with to feel really invested. There's no doubt that one of the top reasons intelligent people have a hard time finding love is that they're picky. When I say picky, you could also use the word selective. It's not necessarily bad, nor is it spoiled or wrong. It's simply that it makes it objectively harder to meet someone than if you are quite easygoing and not as intellectually analytical and active. Number 3. They're sensitive. Intellectual and smart people come in all shapes and sizes. They're all from all walks of life and don't always have titles or academic credits to their name. Intelligence is not about your job, when you're for, or how to the outside world sees you. Although there are ways to measure intelligence, such as IQ tests. It has many aspects, including creative intelligence, perceptiveness and situational awareness, mathematical and verbal ability, emotional intelligence, and more. The common trait that most intelligent people share is a fairly sensitive reaction to emotional and romantic matters. Why? It's because smart people notice a lot and they tend to be highly honest with themselves and unable to lie about what's going on. If a partner is disrespecting them, cheating on them, or miscommunicating in hurtful ways, they aren't able to sweep it under the rug. They keep noticing, analyzing, focusing on what's wrong, and feeling more uncomfortable. This makes it hard to find love in some cases, because most love has quite a few issues and attraction is never easy. The intelligence and intellectual person finds this especially hard. Number 4. They can see lies easily. Nobody likes to be lied or to let down, but the smart people tend to notice it more. They can spot a lie or an intentionally misleading action or word a mile away, and don't like it one bit. This is one of the reasons intelligent people have a hard time finding love. They won't accept being lied to, leaving the smart person or it not going to fly. Even if they send a message and somebody else pretends never to have opened it, intelligent people tend to have a sixth sense about whether they're being ignored or jerked around. This makes it harder to find love because there are many of these kinds of games and deceptions that go in modern romance, especially in the beginning stages of dating, when neither individual has gotten that serious yet. Number 5. They're sometimes less emotionally aware. Another of the reasons intelligent people have a hard time finding love is that they sometimes tend to be less emotionally aware. And even those who get what emotions are, feel sensitive, and really do understand a lot what's going on, often have trouble separating the inside world from the outside world. They may deeply like someone and build up the idea that person is not into them as well, without realizing that this is often not the case. Or they may list off a number of attributes and then meet a guy or girl who meets them, assuming it will therefore work out. Not so fast, Brainiac. Number 6. They value intellectual achievement and ability. Next in the reasons intelligent people have a hard time finding love is that they value intellectual achievement and ability to a greater extent than the majority of people. Among younger single folks, a very smart guy who can't get a girlfriend, he likes due to being brain cells, or those who are too smart to be satisfied by most women. This obviously somewhat tongue-in-cheek and naive self-label nonetheless captures a certain truth about the difficulty of a smart person in finding someone at their level. No woman who's a PhD in chemistry and loves opera wants to go out on a date with a guy who talks about the new Nikes he bought for an hour or goes on about how much he hates traffic jams. Wow, surprise! She wants a guy who's at her level, even if his intellect is quite different. She at least wants it to exist. Number 7. They are frustrated by lack of critical thought. The lack of critical thought and reasoning is difficult for intelligent people. They may appreciate a great sense of humor, everyday topics, and interactions with their friends and family that are more humdrum, but they find it hard to be very attracted or serious about people who think in very simplistic ways. Well, the thing is that critical thought is something we all have the opportunity to develop, but there are definitely those who practice less of it. Those who repeat opinions they've been told or that will make them feel a sense of belonging. Those who never critically examine their own worldview or interpretations of society and just buy into prepackaged narratives. Those who would rather for work 20 years in a terrible job because it's what they're used to, then think about genuinely different alternatives they could try by taking a risk. Smart people have a hard time finding this kind of thing attractive because they just can't relate to buying so easily into obviously oversimplified and self-limiting narratives. Number 8. They have a harder time saying interested. It's not as if being smart necessarily makes you better than those around you. Indeed, a big part of critical thought is realizing that intelligence is only one of many useful attributes that Mother Nature has created. If you're stuck under a fallen tree, you'd much rather a massive cannon-type guy came and lifted it off, than a slight man who goes on about the theory of relatively while commenting on the tree's foliage patterns. Not everything is about being smart in this world. One of the downsides of smart people is that they sometimes tend to be a bit impatient and less satisfied by what the world provides. The spirit of curiosity can be very good for discoveries, pushing limits, and finding new frontiers. But it can be quite bad for love. It's hard to find love when you lose interest quickly or feel a lack of challenge. But the paradox is that if there always a challenge or some kind of complex situations, it's also not much of a relationship. The result? A lot of time spent single. Number 9. They're more argumentative. Let's be honest about another downside of highly smart people when it comes to finding love and establishing relationships. They tend to be more argumentative. If you don't have any strong opinions or World War II or social inequality, you may just smile and nod if the topic comes up. When you're smart, you tend to have knowledge and some kind of opinion about just about everything. Intellectual people like to share their knowledge, learn more, and be around it. When they hear opinions or statements they consider stupid, they don't usually let them go. The result is arguments, either because they're calling out lies or inaccurate statements, or because they're being told they are mistaken about something and don't take kindly to that. Can't we all just get along? Number 10. They're often busier at their job. Another of the reasons intelligent people have a hard time finding love is that they are sometimes more dedicated to working overtime. People of all intelligence level may be lazy or hardworking, but intelligent people tend to bring their work home and have an even harder time drawing a work-life balance and sticking to it. Intelligent, intellectual people have a much bigger risk of becoming workaholics. In fact, they may be just waiting to scamper up the stairs and back to their computer so they can check out the latest numbers in the algorithm they've been working on. Do you want to add a new point? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like and share it with your friends. To see more videos, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.